Om Tat Sat. My humble prostrations to the all-pervading Brahman, to my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayanandaji Maharaj, to Sage Narada, and all the sages and saints, and to each of you, divine soul, watching today's satsang. So today we will be studying Sutra number 13 from the Narada Bhakti Sutras. We are on chapter 1, which is the nature of Parabhakti or supreme devotion. So let's get started on Sutra number 13 from chapter 1. Anyatha patitya shankaya. Again, anyatha patitya shankaya. Commentary is by my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayanandaji Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. So, Sutra 13. We had studied in Sutra 12 that let him protect the scriptures even after his spiritual conviction is firmly established. So even after the sages have attained realization, they still continue to guide people through the scriptures and they protect the scriptures. And in this sutra number 13, Anyatha patitya shankaya means otherwise there is a possibility of a downfall. So the explanation is that scriptures contain the revelations of sages and saints, as it were, the breath of the Supreme Self. So these experiences that they find in the deeper recesses are what they share. The immortal teachings of the scriptures are again and again reinterpreted and proven by souls scaling the heights of spiritual revelation. So each one has to go deep and in his own self and identify his own spiritual experience. So just as old wines are preserved and presented in new bottles, ancient timeless teachings are presented in the garb of new expressions to suit modern times. So as the time changes, the sages and saints change their teachings, the method of the teachings, but the essential teaching doesn't change. Just like the nature's elements don't change, earth, water, fire, air, ether, they have been there for time immemorial. Similarly, the teaching of Brahman is ever the same. However, people's tastes, likes, fashion, modern society, etc., continues to change, and therefore those things are presented in a different way. That's the only difference, but the essence of the teaching doesn't change. That's what we are trying to explain in this sutra. The basic is the same. If the scriptures are not protected, one will easily come under the sway of evil association that abounds in this world. For this reason, we say that scriptures are holy, they are sacred books, and they have to be preserved, protected, and revered. We don't read them just like you would read any novel or any school textbook. These are holy. Devoid of a standard to follow, one will be guided by his own egoistic vision and will be caught in Maya. Therefore, we seek the holy feet of sages and saints and we get the vibrations of their spiritual energy, and all that is possible when we revere the scriptures and we reflect humility in our learning. So, constant study of scriptures, expressing the teachings in one's lives, promoting scriptural wisdom in others, sporting in the gardens of the spiritual wisdom, and inspiring others to be drawn to the scriptures in order to enjoy the glorious experiences of devotion and wisdom. These must not be ignored by an aspirant. So these are always the key tenets even after attaining realization, etc. So we must continue to walk on this holy journey with deep respect. Even a Siddha is a perfected sage, one who has attained liberation. He lives to share his wisdom and devotion with others, because then whatever balance of life they have of their prarabdha karma is to share that knowledge with everybody else, to enlighten as many souls as possible. One lit candle can keep on lighting all the other unlit candles, and that's what they do. An aspirant must protect the scriptures for the sake of doing good for all living beings. So these sages and saints are not selfish. They don't want this beautiful nectar just for themselves. They want to share. In the case of an enlightened devotee, there is no possibility of a downfall. So what is Sage Narada trying to say is that we protect the scriptures, and yet devotees who are sadhakas, who are walking on the step, who are learning the ropes, for them to set examples, even the perfected ones continue the process, but for the ones who are learning can easily fall if they are not careful. So that is the essence of this sutra. At the same time, the life and the manner in which the sage performs his duties, the way in which he faces prosperous and adverse circumstances, become examples for the masses to follow. So the sage itself becomes a moving temple, and all the religious sites, and we call them tirth yatras, tirth sthal, or holy places like Rishikesh, Haridwar, Ganga, all these spiritual centers are created around some spiritual saint or some spiritual event. So that is what the essence of this sutra is. To protect the scriptures, everybody is guided to treat them with respect. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Om Tat Sat.